That's okay. I'll do it for her. Practicing.
I knew you would.
Did I do it right?
You did.
Okay.
Is there a lag or anything on the sound?
Okay.
30 seconds.
Do it.
Okay. The governing board meeting is called to order at 5 p.m. your local time and 3 a.m. my time. Please stand for the flag salute. I have a flag here too. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. You may be seated. Roll call. Let the record reflect that all board members are present. And I'm going to need one of the board members to let me know if all cabinet members are present, since I can't see them. Okay, so all cabinet members are also present. Approval of agenda. It is recommended that the governing board approve the agenda of the June 24th, 2024 governing board meeting. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Ms. Shedd,
A second.
Mr. Frutos, all those in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Motion passes 5-0. Do we need to do a roll call for this vote as well? Okay. So Ms. Shedd,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
and Mr. Chong.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Approval of the minutes. Approval of the June 10th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Chong and Ms. Estrada. We'll do a roll call. Ms. Shedd,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Governing board comments. We will start with Ms. Shed.
Great, thank you. Well, there hasn't been much time since we had our last meeting. I went to the Buena Park Collaborative, and I'm going to be working on the Housing Committee. Trying to look at helpful suggestions, ways that we can address our declining enrollment, because most of that is due to limited access, affordable access, I should say, to housing. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Strata.
Same goes for me. Nothing much to report, just kind of, thank you everyone for being here. I know summer's already started for a lot of us, but a lot of us are still putting in a lot of work, and thank you for all that you do. And just kind of getting ready and getting prepared for summer and the beginning of the school year, and just thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Frutos.
All right, well, hello, everyone. Hopefully everybody's having a good summer day. I know it's a little toasty out there and everybody's staying hydrated, but I do thank everybody being here present, and thank you for the work that you're doing. I do encourage all of you that can take a vacation, take some time off. It's okay to disconnect and get away from our day-to-day activities. I know most of us are working year round, but if there's an opportunity to get away and disconnect, I'd highly encourage it. Just so we can kind of get back together and refresh and have a whole new perspective for the 24-25 school year. So also want to thank everybody that is retiring for their time and service and their commitment to the Buena Park School District. In particular, Dr. Cantu. I want to thank you for all the work that you've done. I've had an amazing experience in sharing my family and my journey, and as a board member, but also as a community member and as a parent. I know my girls always had a joy of a time getting to talk to you, and vice versa. Your commitment to our families, our students, and the Buena Park School District is unwavering, and we do appreciate everything you've done for every single buddy in our community, especially our district. Your charisma, your professionalism is going to go, it's not going to go unnoticed. It's going to be dearly missed. Those are one of the things that I enjoyed the most in sharing events, being here at the district or outside of the district, being around you. I picked up a few things that I'd like to take on myself, just in watching you and the way you carry yourself everywhere we're at, whether it's here at the district or away from the district. So thank you again for everything that you've done, and you'll be dearly missed. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Frutos. Mr. Chang.
Sorry about that. I'm happy to see everybody here as well. I'll keep it short. Just a reminder for everyone, if you haven't visited, I actually in 5 years didn't get to go to the Leslie Milch Reading at the Park thing, and I went this last Wednesday, and again, awesome, well attended, just a very community event. So if you haven't gone, anybody else can go. Please go attend it and support what she does for reading and literacy and for giving back to our community. I know Juneteenth just passed. I know Ms. Shed did something at the park related to that. I know, I'm surprised you didn't share. I'm thinking you're saving for next time, so I won't spoil it. The happy celebration for that. I just want to share, I got accepted to this Korean Cultural Connections program, so I'll be representing both Fullerton and Buena Park over there as like a kind of ambassador with education networking. So it'll be kind of interesting. I'm excited to see what that brings and being able to represent our district in a different country to see what we do and kind of share the love of BPSD. And I also would like to say with bittersweetness to Dr. Cantu, thank you for all you've done. Your dedication, your commitment and love was definitely always felt these past few years. And I think we have this year that is a little bit for you. So my phrase for you is, I wish nothing but peace, travel, and happiness in your retirement. I'm going to popcorn back real quick because I think Ms. Ahmad, that if our other members could add their bunt sentence phrase, and I think it was coming around.
All right, I'm going to say nothing but joy for your retirement.
Thank you for everything that you've done, and just for being really someone amazing to me in the district and really representing everything that we do. Thank you so much.
For me, it's nothing but happiness.
Awesome. And for me, it's nothing but relaxation. I actually got a little bundt cake for myself so that I could enjoy it. Dr. Lee let me know, a little birdie to let me know. So I'm like, oh, I'll have some bundt cake too. Thank you all for your comments. For me, I've kind of been a little far away from the district, but not far, not obviously trying to keep up with everything happening. There's so much happening, just hearing from Dr. Lee and seeing the Friday report. Our maintenance staff is busy at work. Our nutritional services are hard at work, and all our summer classes with the ELOP and the summer school. And so I appreciate everyone. I want to thank everyone. And I wanted to end my comments with also wishing Dr. Cantu the best. And I made her a promise last time I saw her that now she's available for breakfasts. So I look forward for that. So maybe nothing but breakfasts out everywhere in town. So thank you for all you do. And that is it for my comments. We'll move on to the superintendent's comments.
Yeah. Happy summer, everyone. I would like to recognize also Leslie Milch. I know her dedication to her program, We Would Read With Me at Bellis Park, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. and she's there till mid-July. It just brightens everyone's day that's able to attend. There are many community partners there, such as America on Track, such as the city. OC Fire Authority was there last Wednesday. Sandra from Chevrolet to hand out pizza. They're there with food giveaways, great parent education and resources. And the program that she has created at a park just has inspired everyone to continue to read, even throughout the summer months, and enjoy reading and take time and pleasure in reading. I attended the city's first Juneteenth celebration. I just want to publicly thank Dr. Cantu and Rhodia Shed. I know you had a part in creating such a beautiful celebration. We recognize that day in Buena Park School District, and the event was a great turnout. There's festivities, music, and great food, much laughter. And lastly, I would like to thank Dr. Cantu for her dedicated service to the profession and her time here in serving the Buena Park community. She has served wholeheartedly with so much passion and compassion. The year went by quite quickly for me with her, but it was my honor to have spent the year with her, just even learning from her grace and professionalism. When in need of a K-pop dancer, you know who you can turn to. She got my bag with so many of the crazy ideas that we had here in Buena Park this year, but had so much fun together doing it. Dr. Cantu, Yvette, I thank you for your friendship. And on behalf of the board and cabinet, we have for her, I know we mentioned bundt cakes. Just wanted to show the public. It's in lemon flavor, which is your favorite. So no choices, everyone. We all get lemon today here tonight. And those of you who did not come physically, I know you are right now lamenting over not being here because you too would have enjoyed bundt cakes. For the audience and the dedicated staff here with us tonight, please feel free to take a bundt cake in the back before going home. Once again, we wish you nothing but well wishes, Dr. Cantu, and we wish you nothing but much laughter.
Thank you. Awesome. Moving on to our programs and reports, we have California Dashboard Local Performance Indicators Report. Dr. Lee.
Yes, I would like to invite Director Sari Huang to present the Dashboard Local Performance Indicator Report.
Good evening. I don't know, President Ahmad, is it good morning or good evening over there?
It's 3 a.m., so I think both work.
Okay, good evening and good morning, President Ahmad, members of the governing board, Superintendent Dr. Lee, cabinet members and guests. Tonight I'm presenting the LCFF Priorities Local Indicators Report that will populate the 2024 California Dashboard in mid-November. Next slide, please. So what are the local indicators? So as you know, the California School Dashboard is an online tool that shows how districts and schools are performing on a state and local indicators that are included in the state school accountability system. So state indicators are based on data collected from district through the CalPADS and the state testing vendor ETS. However, local indicators are indicators that are not collected by the state, and as such, districts submit self-scored progress annually, whether by self-reflection or by local surveys. So indicators are presented to the school board in June in conjunction with the adoption of the LCAP as we are doing today. And once presented, they are submitted to the dashboard by July 31st for fall publication. Next slide, please. So what are the priority areas? So local indicators are divided into priorities, and 5 of the priorities, as you can see here in color, are self-evaluated by the district. So the 5 priorities include basic services and conditions, implementation of state academic standards, parent and family engagement, school climate as measured by a local climate survey, and the 5th one, access to a broad course of study. So they're divided into conditions of learning, as you can see here, for 1, 2, and 7, priorities 1, 2, and 7, and 3 and 6 are connected to student with engagement. And the gray areas there are indicators that do not require a self-reflection. Next slide. So for priority 1, basic services and conditions, this addresses the percentage of appropriately assigned teachers, students' access to curriculum-aligned instructional materials, and a safe, clean, and functional school facilities. So as you can see here, we continue to meet the standard for each measure in the priority. And this is measured by us looking at our SARC, our FIT reports, as well as our Williams report. Next slide. Priority 2 is implementation of state academic standards. It measures progress in implementing the state board-adopted academic content and performance standards for all students. And this includes evaluation of teacher training, having standards-aligned instructional materials, provide opportunities for staff to identify areas where they can improve in delivering instruction, and finally, the implementation of classes outside of core curriculum such as CTA, pathways, VAPA, STEAM, and so forth. So along with professional development efforts, the district is steadfast in its commitment to curriculum excellence and alignment with state standards. The district has made significant investments in updating instructional materials to enhance the learning experience for all of our students. And this includes our supplementary math resources, additional ELD materials, science history materials, and also in support of our English learner newcomers. We also provide support with Rosetta Stone to support our newcomers. Moreover, the district is dedicated to expanding our career technical education, or CTE, by equipping students with practical skills and certifications that prepare them for future career paths. So as we see in our middle schools and also with our elementary schools wanting to lead the pathway into middle school and high school, we're offering many different passion pathways for students, including IB, including STEAM, VAPA, even speech, and more. So to support our progress, we looked at our survey results. So 83% of our staff state that the professional learning opportunities to implement the state standards in ELA and ELD have been useful in their practice. 92% of staff state that the PD opportunities to implement the state standards in the math have been useful in their practice. And 78% of staff state that the professional learning opportunities to integrate technology into their lessons have been useful in their practice. So by prioritizing our professional development, curriculum alignment, and optimizing our resources, our district remains steadfast in the mission to provide high quality and equitable education for all students. So in priority 2, we have met all the standards in all the areas. Next slide. Priority 3 focuses on parental involvement and family engagement. So as a district, we're committed to fostering strong partnerships and meaningful engagement with parents. And one of our strengths is the continued use of Parent Square, which is our communication platform. It serves as a centralized hub for district-wide two-way communication. In addition to Parent Square, families benefit from our Aries Parent Portal that provides access to student grades and test results and any additional essential documents. Another area of strength lives in our community events, which include our sped galas, movie nights, color runs, parent workshop opportunities, along with, we just had CGI math nights as well too this past year. In addition to that, we prioritize the development of our students by looking at our SEL surveys from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade to see where our students are doing or to gauge how our students are doing socio-emotionally. And to add a little bit more regarding our parent involvement piece, our district continues to expand its parent workshop opportunities and training sessions so that we can cover a wide range of spectrum of topics that are needed for our parents. So in priority 3, we have met the standard. Next slide. Priority 6 addresses school climate, particularly students' perceptions of school safety and connectedness and access to counseling. So to measure school climate, the district uses 2 primary measures. The first is the LCAP online survey that is administered annually to students during the winter. And in addition to that, we also had focus groups for our students. The LCAP survey asks questions related to college career opportunities, access to counseling, and school safety. And in addition to that, we also do have our SEL surveys as well. So in this year's survey relating to student connectedness, 89% say that teachers and adults make them feel welcome. 82% encourage them to share stories relating to their experiences from their family and culture. And 88% of 3rd through 5th graders and 82% of 6th through 8th graders feel supported through relationship with friends, family, and adults. And of course, with 88% of students say that they can access counseling services when needed. And these survey results are something that sounds familiar to you as we also shared them with our LCAP report. So with that being said, with priority 6, we have met standard. Next slide. So with our 5th or last priority, which is access to broad course of study, this measure addresses the extent to which students have access to and enrolled in a broad course of study, which entails many a wide range of study that we provide to our students, opportunities we provide to our students, as mentioned earlier, such as STEAM, VAPA, AVID, digital arts. We see moreover at middle school, we have our horticulture, aviation, robotics, culinary arts, industrial arts, and more, including language classes in Spanish and Korean. So to support this, that our standard was met here, looking at our middle school students survey results, 91% of students stated that they have access to programs and services beyond their core classes. And 94% of students stated that their school offers elective classes to help explore interests in future careers. And 96% of students state that their school provides opportunities to take honors or advanced courses. So from these survey results as well too, we're able to see that priority 7 was met. So the last slide summarizes in terms of the 5 local indicators. We see that in all 5 areas that we were able to meet standards in all these areas. So these priorities will be submitted by July 31st and will be publicly available late in the fall when the California dashboard is released. So that concludes my report. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Do any board members have any comments or questions?
Thank you. Good to hear that.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Moving on to our next report, which is facilities and modernization update. Dr. Lee.
Yes, I would like to invite Chief Operations Officer Mike Magbu to present the facilities modernization update.
Good evening, Dr. Lee, President Ahmad, board members, cabinet, and the audience members here. We're going to be doing a facilities update. First, I'd like to thank Mike Anderson and his team for helping us with the facilities. A lot of the facilities things are actually covered by our maintenance staff. So we're going to be covering the bond projects, We're gonna talk a little bit about the Whitaker Park project, Gilbert Early Learning Project, HVAC replacement project, CalShape update, and the summer work. Measure B, bond update. The two projects that we're currently working on with bond money is the library and music classroom, and then which is at Beatty. Both of them we're considering the same project. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the greenhouse project. So right now, the library gone through several different renovations. We are currently demoing the library interior to put new carpet down, some painting. We're going to replace the cabinetry and everything. We have furniture for them to start the school. The new furniture will arrive sometime in the fall, and that will be put into place as we proceed through the rest of the school year. By December, we should expect all the new furniture to be installed into the Beatty Library. There are several different color schemes that we're getting going back and forth and discussing with cabinet and the principal, as well as the contractors and some of the staff here locally. The music classroom has been ordered and is going to be delivered the last week of July, first week of August. We're prepping the pad work, which needs to be completed before the 22nd of July, so we can properly drop the building down. And then we're going to get either Mike's team will do it or contract out to have the facilities hooked up for electrical and water for that site. This is a 36 by 40 classroom. To put this in perspective, this is the same size as our PDC room building. The Winter Park Middle School greenhouse project is moving along. There's several different features that came up as we came through. One is electrical. We had to install, instead of 110 electrical, we had upgraded to 220 electrical components, and we had to install a larger connection for water. So we tapped in. We were going to tap into the sprinkler system, but we needed a larger source of water, so we tapped into the building water supply. We're currently putting in fans and vents and the rest of ventilation to actually have this project up and running by the time school starts. We have several completed bond projects, but we're waiting for DSA to finish these bond projects. The elementary NPR project, the Whitaker front project that we for the curb appeal, we have the Pendleton / administrative building / NPR project to be to several projects that we're waiting on DSA to close. The DSA is actually is working with us and our architect and our inspector of records to close out DSA issues that came up in 2017 and 2018 due to path of travel for ADA, path of travel. And those are being closed out now. Once those close out, then we can work on closing out the NPR projects, the Pendleton Admin project, and the Whitaker Curb Appeal project. We expect to have those projects closed out. And then once that happens, we will be issued a new A number for our next project, which is the Gilbert Early Learning Project. The Whitaker Park project is coming along. There is a grand opening on August 7th for the Whitaker Park. We expect a full crowd. The principal is working with families to get kids there to sing, and they've been practicing so far. So everyone's really excited about it. The park, as you see from the pictures in our fire reports, has been changing and growing, and new equipment is being added every week. So we're looking forward for a full new park. We expect the seeding to actually start occurring in July next week. And we're hoping that we can get a full park picture mid-July at some point. So DSA is actually checking on the design drawings right now. We're in what's called a back check period where we're going back and forth with DSA to finalize the drawings. This is when we finish this back check, we'll be issued our A number. This is slightly being held up by the Gilbert and Whitaker projects, but we anticipate moving forward. We have already assigned or have awarded the bid to the groundwork, and we should anticipate starting the groundwork, which does not need DSA approval to start. But once the groundwork is completed, we will start issuing more bids and start issuing contracts to several vendors. This is a multi-prime project. The first time the district has done a multi-prime project, which means the district is acting along with Telecute as the general contractor. And we are actually going to bid for every different construction trade in this process. All right. The groundwork is going to take the longest. So we're going to see a lot of demolition of groundwork, but it's going to be a lot of work. And then once we start building start putting the concrete down and laying the base for all the rooms, then you start seeing a lot of activity happening a lot faster as we move along. We're still anticipating this to open up in August of 25. We are in the process of our HVAC project, and I want to talk a little bit about that and talk a little bit about our Caltech update. Verigy, our HVAC provider, has so far as of Wednesday has installed and verified 176 working HVAC units. That's 176 of our oldest HVAC units that have been replaced so far. All right. Several more units will be also replaced over the summer due to some delayed shipping. We are reducing the scope of this HVAC project, and we are introducing the CalShape second phase project. We have been notified by the state that we have a application potentially approved for $4 million, that we submitted application paperwork that they required. We're waiting for them to review the paperwork and finalize the notice of funding for us. So once we get that notice of funding, we'll go out to bid for the second part of the CalShape, and we expect to have between $3 and $4 million worth of HVAC units approved and installed by this grant process. We have a lot of summer work going on. We have two large projects that were bid out. One is the district-wide asphalt project that's occurring across the district, several school sites, including the parking lot here between the Buena Park Middle School and the district office, the front of the district office, Emory's, both Emory sites. We have Beatty asphalt and Corey asphalt being taken care of. We have the Buena Park Middle School and Emory Elementary School painting project going on right now. Emory has been completed. We're in the middle of the Buena Park Middle School to be completed. During the Buena Park Middle School, there are some changes in the coloring scheme. So the new coloring scheme looks really nice. So when everyone returns, we're going to have some really nice colors at our Buena Park Middle School. We have several tree trimming projects going on, security updates and fire alarm testing going out throughout the district. And then our maintenance projects. Our maintenance staff has done quite a bit of projects here, and they continue to do so. And they actually have some really good turnaround times. And I have to thank them because they help our facilities stay up to code, and we are consistently passing our Williams inspection and meeting met or exceeded on other aspects that require facilities reviews. That concludes our facility report. Do we have any questions?
Thank you so much. Anyone have any questions or comments? I just wanted to ask, where would the music building be placed? The one at Beatty?
The music building can be placed to the right of the locker room. There's extra electrical that was put there and facilities put there for future use, and we're just going to tap into those.
Okay. Okay, that side of campus. Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you so much. We really appreciate all the hard work happening this summer. And actually, I felt like before I even left, Emory was almost done. When I was passing by, I was like, wow, that was really quick. Yeah, thank you. So that is it for the facilities update. We have our hearing session. The audience members may request to address the board on an item on or off the agenda per board bylaw 9323. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the governing board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board limits the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. The total time allowed for public comment shall be 30 minutes. Audience members wishing to address the board during the hearing session of the agenda should fill out a request to address the governing board form and turn it into the executive assistant prior to the board holding the hearing session. Do we have any comments from our primary meeting location? And I do not have, awesome, and I do not have any comments from the remote meeting location too. So hearing session is closed. Moving on to our action calendar, and so we will be having roll calls for all these. So please, I'm sorry again, and be patient with me. Hopefully there's not too much of a lag when I'm reading them out. So we will start with our interdistrict transfer request 2425 CHCH6. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of the interdistrict transfer request 2425 CHCH6. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Frutos, Ms. Shed, and we'll do a roll call. Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
and Mr. Chong.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. And I'll be keeping it the same order for each of the roll calls, not because I'm playing favorites, it's because that's how I'm seeing you guys on my screen. Next, item B, we have interdistrict transfer request 2425 CHWIK. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of interdistrict transfer request 2425 CHWIK. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Chong, Mr. Frutos, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
and Mr. Chong.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Interdistrict transfer request 2425 CHAN4. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of interdistrict transfer request 2425 CHAN4. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Ms. Shed and Ms. Estrada. Roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Item D, interdistrict transfer request 2425 ABMH3. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of the interdistrict transfer request 2425 ABMH3. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Frutos,
I'll second.
Ms. Shed. Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Interdistrict transfer request 2425 ORESK. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of interdistrict transfer request 2425 ORESK. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Chong, Ms. Estrada. Roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Interdistrict transfer request 2425 ANCH5. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of interdistrict transfer request 2425 ANCH5. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Frutos,
Second.
Ms. Estrada, and roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Frutos, Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Interdistrict transfer request 2425 KIPAK. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of the interdistrict transfer request 2425 KIPAK. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Thank you, Ms. Shed.
Second.
Mr. Chong. Roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Inter-district transfer request 2425 RHJA4. It is recommended that the governing board uphold the denial of inter-district transfer request 2425 RHJA4. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Mrs. Estrada. Okay, and Mr. Fuchs?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Fuchs is a yes, and Mr. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
Mrs. Shed,
Yes.
and I'm a yes, motion passes 5-0. I switched it up to see if you guys were awake. Approval of the Buena Park School District 2024 Local Control and Accountability Plan, LCAP, annual update for the 2023, 2024, and 2024 Local Control and Accountability Plan, LCAP. It is recommended that the governing board approve the Buena Park School District 2024 Local Control Accountability Plan, LCAP, annual update for the 23, 24, and 24 Local Control and Accountability Plan, LCAP. Dr. Lee.
Yes. If board approved, the LCAP will serve as the plan as to how the district intends to meet annual goals for all pupils with specific activities to address state and local priorities. The LCAP shows how the district will increase or improve services for emerging bilinguals, low-income and foster youth pupils in proportion to the increase in supplemental and concentration funds.
Thank you. And I think we heard the actual update and plan last meeting at our first June meeting. So if there's no discussion, we'll move to approve if there's a motion.
Motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Chong, and I think it's Mr. Frutos.
Yes.
Okay, roll call. Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada, Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So motion passes 5-0 for item I. Item J, we have approval and adoption of the 2024-2025 Buena Park School District budget. It is recommended that the governing board approve and adopt the 2024-2025 Buena Park School District budget. Dr. Lee.
The proposed 2024-25 budget and the 2023-24 estimated actuals are based upon the most current information available from the California Department of Education, the Orange County Department of Education, School Services of California, and Buena Park School District sources. According to Ed Code 42127, the governing board is required to approve and adopt an annual budget for the upcoming fiscal year on or before July 1st.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions about the budget report, which we also heard at our last meeting? Do I have a motion to approve the 2024-2025 school district, Buena Park School District budget?
Motion.
Mr. Chong,
Second.
Ms. Shed, roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chong, and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Okay, approval of amendment to employment agreement between Buena Park School District and Superintendent Dr. Julian Lee. It is recommended that the governing board approve the amendment to employment agreement between Buena Park School District and Superintendent Dr. Julian Lee. So the Brown Act requires that this board make an oral report in open session before taking final action on an employment agreement for a local agency executive, summarizing any recommendation regarding compensation, including salary and/or fringe benefits. Consistent with this requirement, the board provides this oral summary of the salary and fringe benefits as set forth in the proposed employment agreement for superintendent between the Buena Park School District and Dr. Julian Lee. So we have employment term. The employment agreement will be extended by 1 year, expiring June 30th, 2027. Terms and conditions of employment. We attached a previously negotiated salary schedule as Exhibit A to the employment agreement, which I'd like to note here for clarity purposes is unchanged. Travel and district expenses, reimbursement for meal expenses incurred when conducting district business, including within the boundaries of Orange County. Professional development, district to assume cost of mentoring and coaching services provided to superintendent by leadership and associates during the term of this agreement. And evaluation to change the date of mid-year assessment of superintendent to February of each year. That concludes the board's report pursuant to Government Code Section 54953C3. And I will now open up this item for discussion and action. If anyone doesn't have anything to discuss or comment, we could go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Frutos and Ms. Shed. And roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Approval of the award of RFP 2402 BPSD ELOP 04052024R. It is recommended that the governing board approve the award of the RFP 2402 BPSD ELOP 04052024R. Dr. Lee.
The ELOP aims to enhance student academic achievement, foster positive youth development, and improve school and community partnerships. The funding provided by ELOP can be used to support a variety of programs, including before and after school programs, summer learning programs, and weekend and holiday programs. The board approved permission to solicit RFPs and act to award RFPs for the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program on March 11th, 2024. This is a rebid from the initial RFP that was awarded on May 13th, 2024, due to necessary changes in the scope of services. On May 30th, 2024, the district received a total of 11 proposals responding to the new RFP. The RFP contained 4 options to be awarded at various sites listed on the board agenda item.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Ms. Estrada and Ms. Shed. We'll do a roll call. Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. With no discussion, motion passes 5-0. Next item M, approval of Proposition 28, Arts and Music in School Funding Annual Report Fiscal Year 23-24. It is recommended that the governing board approve Proposition 28, Arts and Music in School Funding Annual Report Fiscal Year 23-24. Dr. Lee.
The Arts and Music in Schools, or the AMS, Funding Guarantee and Accountability Act require LEAs to complete an annual report in alignment with Proposition 28, which is the Art and Music in Schools Funding Initiative. Our district has made strides in enhancing music education by appointing a dedicated elementary music teacher.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Mr. Frutos,
I'll second.
Ms. Shed. Roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. With no discussion, motion passes 5-0. Next, we have adoption of Resolution 2328, ordering a school bond election and authorizing necessary actions in connection therewith. It is recommended that the governing board adopt Resolution 2328, ordering a school bond election and authorizing necessary actions in connection therewith. Dr. Lee.
State law requires the Board of Trustees to order school district bond elections. The Registrar of Voters of the county will coordinate and conduct the election on behalf of the district, including publishing all required notices. The resolution for this item contains the necessary approval to A, call an election within the district for the purpose of approving school bonds. B, request the register of voters of the county of Orange to conduct the election on behalf of the district. And C, to authorize the submission of other election materials, including a tax rate statement to be included in voter information guides. We have with us tonight Jason Chung from Fieldman and Rollup and Joy and Jeannie from Team Civics. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. So we would need to vote on this item N. Do I have a motion to adopt this resolution?
Motion.
Mr. Chong? Ms. Estrada? And we will be doing a roll call. Is it Ms. Shed?
Yes.
Ms. Estrada? Mr. Frutos? Mr. Chong?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Approve the use of the Oxnard Union High School District Piggyback RFP 663 Nutrition Services Dairy Products for purchase and delivery of dairy products. It is recommended that the governing board approve the use of Oxnard Union High School District RFP 663 Nutrition Services Dairy Products for the purchase and delivery of dairy products. Dr. Lee.
Yes, Public Contract Code Section 20118 provides authority for the governing board of school district to purchase from another public agency without going to bid if the board determines it to be the best interest of the district to utilize a bid from another public agency. The staff has determined that it is in our best interest of the district to purchase and the delivery the dairy products from Driftwood Dairy per Oxnard Union High School District.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Ms. Shed? Mr. Frutos? Roll call, Ms. Shed?
Yes.
Ms. Estrada?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Frutos? Mr. Chong?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. No further discussion. We will move to approve. Motion carries 5-0. Next, we have Public Employee Appointment, Sandra Song, Director, Educational Programs, effective July 1st, 2024. It is recommended that the governing board approve Public Employee Appointment, Sandra Song, Director, Educational Programs, effective July 1st, 2024. Dr. Lee.
Yes, I would like to invite Chief Personnel Officer Russell Harrison to do the honors with this introduction.
Good evening and good morning to President Ahmad and members of the governing board. We're excited to recommend our top candidate for the Director of Educational Programs, Dr. Sandra Song. Dr. Song is presently traveling on the other side of the world on a pre-arranged trip to Japan and is not able to join us this evening, but I would like to highlight some of her successful background and the strengths that our interview panels see her bringing to the educational services team. Dr. Song has a wealth of experience in diverse roles within education. She began her career as a bilingual instructional assistant and later advanced her career by becoming a bilingual teacher. Over the years, she has expanded her impact, including serving as a teacher on special assignment in various capacities, including instructional TOSA, intervention TOSA, and professional development TOSA within the Anaheim Elementary School District. Dr. Song's dedication and expertise in these support roles next led to her promotion to site-level leadership, and for the past 8 years, she has been serving as principal of Thomas Jefferson School. Notably, she pioneered the first Korean dual immersion language program in Orange County at her school 5 years ago, a groundbreaking achievement that has garnered recognition at both the regional and state levels by the California Association of Bilingual Educators, also known as CABE. Dr. Song holds a bachelor's degree from UCI, a master's degree from Walden University, and a doctorate in urban school leadership from the University of Southern California. Her extensive knowledge and experience include familiarity with numerous educational initiatives here in Buena Park, including CGI Math and Universal Design for Learning, UDL. When this trilingual professional is not championing learners at work, Sandra finds other ways to recharge her batteries. She explores other cultures through international travel. As mentioned earlier, this is her first day in Tokyo, and she will be visiting South Korea before heading home. She and her family also enjoy fishing trips in the Eastern Sierras in the summer to appreciate the beauty of the great outdoors. She has recently brought this passion for nature back home and shared that she loves nurturing plants as a beginning gardener. Besides helping our educational programs to flourish, I, for one, am hoping that she can help me to keep my desktop plants alive and blossoming for years to come. We are excited to recommend Dr. Song for your consideration, and she awaits the vote from the same hemisphere as you are in, President Ahmad. I yield to the board.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harrison. So do I have a motion for our public employee appointment, Sandra Song?
Motion.
Mr. Frutos,
Second.
Mrs. Strata? And we'll do a roll call. Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Mrs. Strata,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chong?
Yep.
And I'm a yes. Congratulations. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Sandra was honored to be recommended and prepared the following statement if the governing board affirmed her appointment. I will go ahead and read this on her behalf. To President
Thank
Ahmad
you.
and members of the governing board, I'm excited to introduce myself as a seasoned educator with a deep passion for education and student development. I am deeply grateful for the opportunity to serve the Buena Park community. It is an honor to contribute to the growth and development of our students and to work alongside such dedicated and passionate individuals. Thank you for this incredible opportunity to make a positive impact in our community and to ignite a passion for learning. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have our annual declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 2024-2025 school year. It is recommended that the governing board approve the submission of the annual declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 2024-2025 school year. Dr. Lee.
Yes, the district is required to file with the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing on an annual resolution to certify that reasonable efforts to recruit fully prepared teachers for assignments were made. The California Commission on Teacher Credentialing requires this document prior to accepting any emergency or limited assignment permit applications or renewals for the 2024-2025 school year.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Thank you, Ms. Shedd.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Frutos. Roll call, Ms. Shedd,
Yes.
Mrs. Strata, Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Next, item R, approval of adjustment to certificated chief officer work calendars. It is recommended that the governing board approve the adjustment to certificated chief officer work calendars. Dr. Lee.
Yes, certificated managers generally work on a positive school calendar that does not include vacation days, but rather non-contracted days. Our certificated chief officers will have their work year revised to a positive work calendar of 225 work days and 222 non-contracted days. The number of expected work days will remain the same.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Chong? Was it Mrs. Strata? Okay, we'll do roll call. Ms. Shedd,
Yes.
Mrs. Strata, Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Our last item, I was thinking we were going to get up to Z right now. Approval to award the 2024 Waste Management and Trash Disposal Service. It is recommended that the governing board award the bid BPSD Waste Management Bid 05132024 to Ware Disposal Incorporated. Do I have a motion? Dr. Lee.
The district requires that a qualified firm provide waste management and trash disposal services. The district has determined that Ware Disposal Inc. is a qualified firm and the lowest and most responsible bidder.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Frutos and Ms. Shed. Thank you so much. Our hopefully last roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos, Mr. Chang,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you so much for being so patient. Next, we have our consent calendar. Unless a trustee has a question concerning a particular item and asks that it be withdrawn from the consent calendar, the items are approved at one time by the governing board. Does anyone have anything to remove? Ms. Shed,
No, I don't.
Ms. Estrada,
Nothing to remove.
Mr. Frutos,
Nothing for me.
and Mr. Chong?
Nope, not for me.
And I have nothing to remove. So we'll go ahead and I'll ask for a motion for consent calendar items A through L. Do I have a motion to approve them?
Motion.
Mr. Chong,
Second.
Mr. Frutos, thank you. We'll do roll call. Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Frutos, and Mr. Chong.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0 for our consent calendar. Next up, we have our information correspondence, major topics 2024-2025. Dr. Lee.
Yes, one change has been added as a federal compliance update for the LCAP in August.
In August. Okay, thank you. Next, we have our closed session. Conferences with Dr. Julian Lee, Superintendent of the Buena Park School District, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Government Code 54956.9D1, one case, OAH case number 220245528, liability claim, claimant 6400887 BPSD claim 02-2024, Labor Relations Buena Park Teacher Association Government Conference Code 54957.6, Labor Relations California School Employee Association Chapter 569 Government Conference Code 54957.6, Labor Relations Non-Represented Management and Confidential Contracts Employees, Government Code 54957.6, Public Employee Discipline, Dismissal, Release. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
A motion.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Shed. Mr. Frutos. We will do a roll call to go into closed session. Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada, Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0 to go into closed session. Governing board meeting is called to closed session at exactly 6 p.m. Am I correct? Is it 6?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I'll see you guys on the other side. I'll connect on the other Zoom.
You're now live.
Okay, I can hear you guys now.
The ayes have it.
Okay, so do I have a motion to reconvene?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Estrada and Mr. Frutos. Roll call to reconvene, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Frutos and Mr. Chong.
Yes.
And I'm an aye, motion carries 5-0. Governing board meeting reconvened at 6:32 PM. Reporting out of closed session. On a motion by trustee Shed and seconded by trustee Estrada and a vote of 5-0, the governing board took action to approve settlement claim for OAH case number 220-24528 in the amount of $22,050. Next, in closed session, the governing board voted to deny claim 02-2024 and to refer the matter to the district's claim administrator. The motion was made by trustee Frutos and seconded by trustee Shed and approved with a 5-0 vote. And that is it for reporting out of closed session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Chong, Ms. Shed, roll call, Ms. Shed,
Yes.
Ms. Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Frutos,
Yes.
Mr. Chong,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 5-0 to adjourn at 6:33. Thank you all so much. See you